lads, ladies, and the lovelies. How is everyone doing today? I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. For this video, we're going to be talking about quite an old book, very much considered a would it be considered a classic? I don't know, but you would definitely know this author. Going around, especially for the fact that her books are now starting to become shows, and I even seen like plays are going around based on her books. But I wanted to dabble into crime books, or maybe like cozy mysteries or murder mysteries, even along that kind of area. And so one of the authors I definitely want to dabble into is Agatha Christie. And so when I saw there's a book in the library, I thought, oh, I will pick it out and try and have a good bit of a read of it. As far as I know, Agatha Christie had done 2 series along with a lot of standalones. So she has a Miss Marple series, which is what this book came from, and a Henry Poirot series, which is a more popular one. I have read a Henry Poirot book. It's called the ABC Murders, and it is okay. It's where the murderer decided to murder people in alphabetical order. But I actually prefer this book better, in my personal opinion. I know everyone has like different opinions when it comes to Agatha Christie's books. But yeah, I decided to give this one a try. So this is called They Do It With Mirrors by Agatha Christie. Now, while I was reading this, I couldn't help but notice that this isn't the first book of the series. As a matter of fact, this was... Let's have a look. So the first book of the Miss Marple series, it is... I tell you what, I can't find the list. Why can't I find the list? I had it. Ah, here we go. Right at the back, that's why. So the first book of Miss Marple series is The Murder at the Vicarage, which I do want to read. But this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 book of the series. So I definitely need to read, the 6 books beforehand. But nonetheless, I did very much enjoy this one. So this book is about Miss Marple, who has been told by her best friend Ruth to go to her old friends and the old friend's family's place, because when Ruth went there herself, she said that she felt that something was very, very odd. She can't really explain it in words. She just said it felt really odd with her, and that she can't really explain it. And then asked Miss Marple if she could go there and check it herself. And Ruth basically explained the family background to Miss Marple through the situation. She said that her old friend and her husband had a daughter, and then at some point they adopted a daughter, and they took care of the adopted daughter really well, and spoiling her. She was really beautiful, and she went off to Italy, and that they have an amazing granddaughter who just came back with a husband, and so on and so forth. And then the family is there in a very old manor, but it is also a rehab for delinquents that is also owned by the old friend's husband. along with a couple of people that live there. For starters, there's the old friend's Bertha daughter who lives there. The granddaughter, along with the granddaughter's husband, who came from the States. We have two guys who is in love with the granddaughter, and I tell you what, there were so many people. Oh yes, the old friend's a lady who helps her, and yeah, there is a lot of people. Oh, and someone who believes that these famous people, such as Winston Churchill, is his father, but is actually part of is within the rehabilitation center and is working under the old friend's husband who owns it. So you can see already there is a range of characters to follow along with Miss Marple and an old friend. And so during the time, they sort of odd things has happened along the way. First off, the granddaughter's husband was very unhappy, and the granddaughter was getting, flirted at with by a couple of guys who is into theater as much as she does. And Miss Marple was very interested with a guy who seemed very erratic, the one who keeps thinking that the celebrities are his father, and she believes that there is really something wrong with him, and become very interested in him, in his behavior, basically. And then at some point during the book, he end up having a mental breakdown and accuse the old friend's husband, whose name is Lewis, by the way, Lewis, for being his father. And then when Lewis takes him into the office, they hear some kind of gunshot, and thinking that this guy has pulled a trigger on Lewis. But even though he did pull the trigger, luckily the bullets had missed Lewis. But what happened was his financial advisor came over the night before, and that advisor ended up shot dead in his own office at the same time. And then Miss Marple was trying to figure it out. Now, as I see, there's a lot of twists and turns, and because, as I said before, that the two boys and the granddaughter are both very much into the theatre, so Miss Marple believes that there is a theatre aspect within the murder, as that's what the saying means. They do it with mirrors, which means that they must have been using conjuring tricks in order for this murder to be a success. I don't know. It's well, not technically a success. It's been found out, but don't worry, I'm not going to spoil it for you in case you guys all want to read it. But overall, I did very much enjoy it, and it does make me want to read the Miss Marple series more. I do genuinely enjoy Miss Marple as a character. So Miss Marple is a no, I wouldn't say old, like kind of middle age, she's a kind-hearted woman. She's absolutely lovely. She would go around and listen to people, but she has that kind of hard edge about her. She clearly has a very intelligent mind, and I don't know, I just feel comfortable reading Miss Marple, way more comfortable than reading Henry Poirot, in my opinion. And she kind of like listens to everyone's stories and then kind of just put everything together within her mind, and then it kind of kind of see it in what she was trying to think, or what kind of leads that she's trying to find. And she was a very intelligent woman, and I enjoy reading about her. The writing style is also pretty simple to follow as well, especially when it comes to something as a complex as they do it with mirrors. I will say it's quite a bit of a complex read. I did have to reread a couple of bits as it goes on to try to figure out the murder, but it's one of those that I can't put it down kind of a book, so because I need to figure out what happens next. And as I say, the chapter always ends with a cliffhanger, so it will make you want to read more so you can figure out what happens next. There is some twist to it that you would end up disliking some of the characters as well for some bits. The one of the boys, I didn't really like, and the old friend's birth daughter, she was kind of hard to read as well because she was very hard. She was clearly affected by the fact that her mother favors her adopted daughter more than her birth daughter, and she doesn't particularly understand that, which I get. I understand on that part. And then you see the granddaughter, who is very full of herself. As she was so beautiful. The guys want to be with her, and she kind of she can see that clearly, and then wasn't phased. She's full of herself, and she's very pretty and has no problem, insulting people on the way. So I dislike her a lot as well. But I do enjoy the story as a whole, especially with a little bit of murder, especially with what has happened behind the murder and how it all comes together. I find to be very interesting as well. So you would be very surprised about what goes on within the book. So yes, because of this, I will happily read Agatha Christie. However, I do recommend not to read this first, because I realize that it does recap bits from the previous books. It looks like, I mean, I don't know, I haven't read the previous books. It looks like there are bits to think about, bits that happened within the previous book. So I would want to read Murder within the Vicarage at some point. But I do recommend. And if you guys prefer to read Henry Poirot, I had read the ABC Murders, and that was a good read as well. But I prefer Miss Marple more to Henry Poirot. Just by comparing it, they do it with mirrors to ABC Murders. However, that doesn't mean I dislike Henry Poirot. It means that I should probably read Henry Poirot from the beginning as well, because the ABC Murders is not the first book of the Henry Poirot series. So maybe I should read Henry Poirot as well as Miss Marple. But I do very much enjoy this book. However, the characters, in my personal opinion, can be a little hard to read through. Some of the characters I find to be forgetful a little bit, and some I just dislike, like the granddaughter and her husband. Yeah, I dislike them. The boys I dislike. The only character I seem to like from this book was the old friend, and even even I find her tolerable at the best of times. And she was lovely, absolutely lovely, but too lovely, like stickingly lovely. that kind of thing. So because of the characters, I'm gonna give this a book 3.5 out of 5 stars. I mean, I like the book. I love the murder. I love the murder. I love the writing style. It was very easy to read, and I love that the house and the rehabilitation center, the world that they tried to fix, to build. The characters, not a fan of. So hopefully the other books that I will read from Miss Marple, hopefully it would be much better characters. I don't know. The only character I seem to like is Miss Marple, and she was enjoyed to read. But one thing I have noticed about this is that I didn't see Miss Marple much, despite the fact that this is from her series. In fact, some of the times I see Miss Marple is, you know, her talking to the old friend, or be very concerned about the guy from who constantly saying everyone that, oh, this person is my father. So hopefully I would like to see. I feel like that she wasn't involved within the murder much. I don't know if that is her thing within the series. I need to read more in order to make that conclusion. But they did bring like detectives over in order to figure out the murder, and the 2 detectives that I didn't really remember until now, so I did find them quite forgetful. And so, based on what I've read, it's like they tried to be like, one's a senior and the other is still learning, as far as what I get. But apart from that, it's more senior and obviously more experience within the detective world, while the other is still learning. And that, but apart from that, they seem to be very forgetful. But hopefully that won't be the case with the other book. So because of the characters, I give it 3.5 out of 5. But I do love the writing style. I do love the murder. The murder is it's very clever, very juicy, and I like the world. So I'm definitely going to read some more Agatha Christie. So I am currently reading 2 books at the moment. One that I am, 2 of them I enjoy very much, but they are, I'm going to explain these books as the review comes, because yeah, well, I very much enjoy them. I'm very much enjoying them, so I can't wait to review them. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me in my video. Almost a second. Of my book review. And yeah, I hopefully to see you soon with another book review. Oh, it might not be for another few weeks because I will be away in Italy for the next few weeks. But hopefully I will finish a book by the time I get back, so I could do another review for you. Anyway, guys, I hope it's been helpful with the Agatha Christie book, and I do recommend, and I'd be interested for your own opinions on Agatha Christie, and what a book that you do recommend from Agatha Christie, whether it's for Miss Marple or from Henry Poirot. I am interested in both of them. So do recommend me books if you know any. And yeah, thank you ever so much for joining me in my video. And I hopefully to see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.